Oh my goodness. This is a truck that you have to own one day if you love trucks. Whew. Man. This truck's not that bad. I mean, it's a little bumpy. It's a little stiff. It's not too bad. Jeez. I will say that once you put a load on this thing, I can only imagine. Now look at that. Oh my gosh, that turning radius. Whoa! Whoa, we gotta check that out real quick. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Wide front track for the win. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the video. Oh my gosh. Whew. It's a big boy truck right here. So I found a SLT regular cab and a Laramie cabin chassis, and now I found a 5500 in a limited. So really this video is just about going over pricing and some of the options on this truck. Tate Chrysler in Frederick, Maryland does have this, although it's already sold. You can kind of see it's already sold. So if you want these types of trucks, guys, you got to jump on them. So the person that originally ordered this car backed out of it, and I think they had 3 or 4 people already lined up to buy it. So these trucks are just really hard to find, especially in this high of a trim level. So we're just going to do a quick walk around, and really the main purpose is to show you the window sticker so you can see the price point on this truck. So let's go ahead and get into it. So here's the window sticker for the truck we're going to review today. So when you look at the base price at $50,270, that's not including the limited, that's not including a Cummins. All it's going to include is that it's going to be a Ram 5500 chassis cab, crew cab, 60-inch cab to axle with full drive. So that's going to be a Hemi, and that's pretty much it. Now, as you can see, here's some of your standard equipment. And one thing to keep note of is you do have a 52-gallon tank standard with this cabin chassis. Now this customer preferred package, this is going to be the limited upgrade for the chassis cab. So it's 20 grand to do that package. Now up here you can see there's a few other things. You do have a limited level 1 equipment group, so it does add a few more features for this limited package. So in all, you're basically paying a little bit over $24,000 if you get this package too. Now I'm going to jump back up here for a second. So you do have a electrical accessory group. You do have to pick this with the Cummins, and there's a few other options that you have there too. And as far as the other features go, you see your Eisen and your 6.7 Cummins, which is your basically second most expensive option behind that limited package, which is the customer preferred. And as far as the fuel setup goes, if you do pick this, when I said in the last videos I did, you have to make sure you select 52 and 22 gallon dual fuel tanks. Because it comes with a 52 gallon, some people think that you're just picking the 22 gallon as an add-on, but in fact it's actually deleting the 52 gallon tank. So just keep that in mind. This one does have the upgraded aluminum wheels, setup 6, and a few other things here. Now in the video I might have mentioned that this truck did not have the 489, but it does, so just keep that in mind. So when you get max tow package, it does give you the 489 axle. So destination comes in at $1,795 with a total price of $91,350. I'm going to take a few seconds to show you a couple things here. Now, if I'm building a cabin chassis truck, because typically you're not going to find these on dealer lots, but you can pick some good features here. So since this truck already has the 74 gallon setup, I'm not going to really mention this here, but you do have an option for an engine shutdown timer. I always recommend, because of how cheap it is, to just do a power takeoff. Even if you don't plan on using it, if you do decide to sell your truck in the future, this will really make a big deal for some prospective buyers. And you can paint that front bumper, as you guys saw on this truck. It was chrome, but if you like more of a painted and finished look, you can do that. There is LED tail lights, and you do have some cool options for the tires. So you have all traction tire. These are the standard ones, the all position is what they call them, rear traction. And then you have an off-road tire package too for $995. And just moving on down, you can also do the different color for the interior for the Limited. And the last thing I'll mention to you guys is you can do black vinyl flooring if you'd like, and it is no additional cost. Now, a lot of people know this, but some people don't. You can get the Limited, which is the highest trim level for the Ram segment for the HDs. And the only thing that's different up here is really the fact that you have a little bit more robust tow hooks down here. But the truck does have the projector style LED headlights, and these are going to be full LED too, turn signals and all. Fog lights are also LED below here, and you do have some parking sensors too. Now, as far as the side goes, you do have that larger fender flare for the wider front axle. And these are going to be 19.5-inch tire and wheel too. So these are some Hankook tires, which are pretty decent tire. And I call Smart Flex AH35s. And then here's the size, it's 225, 70, 19.5. And this is going to be a 14 ply. And here are some of the capacities for the tire too. So 3,970 for a single, and then 3,750 for dual. And these are going to be 110 psi's, and you can kind of see that this suspension setup is different from what you will see on the 3500 too. And the radius arms are going to be slightly different too from what you see on the 3500s. Now, this truck does have four-wheel drive. You can kind of see it right there. But overall, I really do like the look of this truck. I mean, this is such a cool setup here. If you do want that luxury in the cabin chassis, I mean, this is the way to go here too. So I'll show you guys the interior too. But man, these 19.5s look so good on this truck. Now, I'm wondering if you can get the power deployable steps. I'm thinking you can't because they don't have the room because of that larger DEF tank here. And you do have the dual fuel too. So this is going to be a 22 gallon, and then this is going to be a 52 gallon tank back here. And yeah, I think the DEF tank is probably like 7.4. I'll put all that in the video because I can't ever remember. But overall, you can see that this is a very robust frame. The hardware here is just really built for heavy lifting. You have a different leaf pack compared to the Ram 3500 too. I believe there's like 11 leaves in this system here. And one thing I mentioned in the last video is, or actually videos I should say, if you do option the 52 and the 22 gallon tank, there is an option for a 22 gallon fuel tank too. So you have to make sure you click for 52 and 22, because if you do 22, you're deleting this one. So just keep that in mind. There is an option for LED lights too, and you can get that from the factory. I'm surprised it didn't come standard with this, but I'm sure there's a reason for it. And then check out these rear 19.5-inch wheels. It's going to be the same tire size too. It's a little different design for the ribs versus the front. They're just like a little bit more aggressive basically. So this is a frame for a 3500, so you can really see a difference in the hardware on this truck. And it looks like they changed, I didn't know this, but they actually changed the leaf system too on this truck to what's on the 4500. It's not as robust though. It's a little bit detuned basically from what you just saw, but I want to show you really quickly, you know, what the frame looks like on a 3500, so you kind of can tell. I mean, the higher GVWR, you're getting a lot more you know, built hardware for that. Here's all that crappy stuff here. I wish they would just stop doing this to us, guys. All this emission stuff. You see how straight that pipe is right there? That's the only pipe that looks good on here. But nevertheless, you can see the drive shaft here. And I didn't mention, this truck does come standard with a 444 rear. There is an option for a 489. So here's under the hood. This is going to be the 6.7 Cummins. The only difference is this is a detuned Cummins. So it's going to have 360 horsepower, 800 pound-feet of torque. The good news is you do have a higher axle ratio out back, so that should help with overall acceleration, especially if you're climbing grades. But the reason why they do that is because it does make it more reliable, especially when you have this much power going out back. I mean, you can definitely start damaging things if you have wheel hop, things like that too. So all in all, this is a really good option if you're doing a lot of miles, 100,000 miles a year or more. And this is made it to the Eisen transmission too. I think it's AS69RC. And yeah, this is probably the reason why most people buy the Ram brand, is because of this drivetrain and powertrain. Now, as far as the interior goes, you guys can see it's the same limited you will see on a 3500 or 2500. Really beautiful. I'm not going to spend too much time in here. The only thing I would say is you can delete the carpet inside of the truck, and you can still get the all-weather floor mats with the carpet in them. So if you would like to just be able to wash out this interior, I mean, that's probably what I would want to do. I would not want to mess up this interior, so I would definitely go for like the rubber floors. But something they did for 2022 is they did change the bronze, like on the door handles around the trim, and they made it black, so it looks a lot nicer inside of here. That's one thing about the Ram segment, is they are killing it on the interior side. I mean, these seats, these are real leather, and there is real wood upholstery around the interior too. Everything looks beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and start it up for you guys too. So as you guys can see here, you do have Uconnect 5, and I'm just going to show you a few things in here. So here's the tire pressure, you know, for the rear tires. You have to make sure you have these bad boys at 110 psi's. Truck only has 19 miles. Here's my favorite gauge summary. Shows you all the good temperatures when you're towing, exhaust brake, all this good stuff. All your maintenance items, diesel particulate filter, boost, oil pressure, transmission, coolant, the whole nine. And I'll show you one last thing inside of here too. This is a good one to look at too. But because this truck does have the auxiliary switches down below, if you push the arrow to the right, 0, 0, 0, 0, you can't get into here. And they do have a few things that you can control. So they have, if you want to set the idle control, you can do that inside of here. You do have your trailer tire pressure inside of this location. For commercial settings, your auxiliary switches, even your park senses inside of here too. So a lot of good stuff inside of this. And of course, with the Uconnect 5, they did update this. It's very easy to use, and overall I think that the system is better. I have the Uconnect 4, so I'm definitely itching to get the Uconnect 5. I wish that they could do on the air updates so it could look like this, but I think after they updated the Uconnect 5, they can do over the air updates with this system. A lot of good stuff inside of here too. But apart from this, you do have a high definition camera out back too. Above the cab is where the high mount center light is, and you can use this for tow mode if you have that option. And as far as the interior goes, you do have LED lights, all that good stuff. In the Vanity, they do give you lights inside of there. You do have home link. So this truck is really well appointed. I mean, even for the center console, you have coverage for your cup holders and for your storage. You do have a wireless station for your phone, tons of USBs, and again, an interior that just will just amaze a lot of your clients if you're using this for a business. All right, so here's the back of the truck. Pretty much looks like the front, right? And this tray does come out too. And you do have these all-weather floor mats that do come all the way up too. I like these actually more than what I have in my truck. I was thinking about getting these, but here's a few other accessories. This looks like the DOT emergency kit. And they have some hoses in here too. I'm not sure what these are for, but I guess they're probably part of another package that's on this truck too. So let me go ahead and show you guys the numbers. So as far as the gross axle weight ratings and GVWR, it's going to be on this side. So this truck's going to have a front gross axle weight rating at 7,000 pounds. And the rear, it's going to be 13,500 pounds with a 19,500 pound GVWR. You won't see a payload number on this truck because it's a factory incomplete. So once you put the bed on or whatever you're going to use the truck for, they can get the truck weight at that point. But typically you have about 11,000 pounds in that ballpark of payload. I'll show it to you here, that way you can see it. But let's go ahead and go online. I'm gonna show you a few more things and then I'll effectively end the video. Before I show you guys the numbers for this truck, I want to show you the difference between the 444 axle ratio and the 489. So on this chart here, the 444 has a max trailering of 23,290 pounds. The 489 is 34,290. And if you do upgrade the axle ratio up front, it would be 7,250, but this one didn't have that. I believe it was just the 7,000 as you saw on the numbers on the truck. Lastly, here are the numbers that it's showing online. I mean, there might be a little bit of a difference, but max payload is showing at 10,586 pounds. That's obviously before you add your hauler bed, things like that. So, and they're saying max towing is 34,086, and that's because you have a little bit heavier cab because of the options and features. But thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you soon.